So, how do you keep your house clean when you have ADHD? Well, first you start by putting your phone on Do Not Disturb so you can actually sit through this video and watch it. I'm Victoria Alexander. This is The Clean Cure, and I help people dealing with mess, clutter, and chaos get their homes under control once and for all. If you do like this video, definitely like it and subscribe if you like more information and tips like this, all right? So today, like I said, we're talking about ADHD and keeping your home clean. So we'll start by talking about Dr. Hallowell. So apparently he's like a mad scientist that's like a super genius when it comes to ADHD. So according to him, you know you have ADHD when you have unexplainable underachievement. You took the IQ test, you scored off the charts, but somehow you ended up as a cashier in Walgreens, right? And not that there's anything wrong with being a cashier whatsoever, but it's like, okay, you have genius level potential, right? Obviously, there's a big mismatch here. And that's just a big indicator, right? That you could have ADHD. And again, it's unexplainable underachievement, all right? So it can't be like from another type of mental illness going on, or depression or a health issue or something, right? Literally, like, why are you a cashier when you should be, running the world or on a space station somewhere type thing? So anyway, symptoms of ADHD include trouble focusing, doing monotonous tasks, planning, staying on schedule, procrastination. All that, again, sounds just like me, right? How about you? So with that being said, now this same doctor that's saying all these very terrible things about ADHD also says this: ADHD is a superpower. I was like, that was really interesting. But I mean, he's right. When you really think about it, all of the creative geniuses, the innovators, the disruptors, um, entrepreneurs, a lot of them claim to have ADHD. So it's weird because symptoms of ADHD again include focusing, not being able to do monotonous tasks, issues with planning, procrastination, and yet they're still able to achieve this just next level type of success, right? So that gives you a clue here into this next statement, which is that basically ADHD could really be hiding your superpower. Um, so, with that being said, based on, like I said, this video that I watched with him describing it, he was saying that when you have ADHD, it's kind of like you need a specific type of stimulation to unwrap the best parts of you. And so for us, a lot of us, ADHD could also boil down to boredom. Now, I know it's not as simple as boredom, but it's just kind of like, again, you need a specific type of stimulation and you're not getting it. So when you're doing that monotonous task or when you're trying to plan, you're bored, right? So it's hard to stay on it. With that being said, let's go ahead and transition into what you have to do to keep your house clean because, again, like we said, monotonous tasks are very hard. And all of these people that have achieved great things with ADHD, I'm assuming that they have been able to master this task. So hopefully these tips here will help you to do it as well. And before I actually get into the tips, let's dive just a little bit deeper, one more level. So we're talking about keeping your house clean with ADHD, but obviously if you have ADHD, you have issues in all areas of your life, right? It doesn't just isn't just contained to the house. So with that being said, if you work on the ADHD, the rest of your life becomes easier. All right. Everything else should begin to improve and elevate once you focus on the actual ADHD, not necessarily the specific task at hand. So with that being said, now here are all 3 tips for you. And again, if you are finding yourself distracted, just bring yourself right back here, count down, from 10. And, these tips are going to be pretty quick, so just bear with me. The 3 tips, they are good. Is number 1, do more cerebral stimulating exercises. So when he said this, he was basically saying that your cerebellum has 70% of the stimulators in your brain, and that when you do specific types of exercises, it gets everything popping and excited. With that being said, once your brain has that certain level of stimulation, it becomes satisfied to a certain degree, or so to speak. when it's satisfied, right, it's gotten the hits that it needs, it's a lot easier for it to do these boring tasks like planning, right, or like cleaning and all these other things. So cerebral type exercises are, well, the way he described it, they're non-sweaty, so I was excited about that. But simple things like certain yoga poses and like standing on one leg with your eyes closed, standing with them open, things like that. Super easy stuff. So definitely give that a try. But he also did say any type of exercise is absolutely, it could be life-changing. And he said just 10 minutes a day, which again, I'm thankful for. I'm not doing 15, not 30. 10 I might be able to do. Tip number 2, focus on focusing. All right. So sometimes we confuse not being able to do something with I'm just not good at it, or even I just don't want to do it. So with that being said, I know me personally, my earring just fell, whatever. So I know me personally, I had to focus on making sure that when I'm doing something, I'm literally just doing one thing, because I definitely am the person that will be browsing the internet on the computer and on my phone at the exact same time. Or if I'm talking to someone, like my kids or something, I'll have my phone in hand. So I had to be very intentional about making sure if I'm talking to someone, I'm just talking. Or if I'm on the phone, I'm just on the phone. Even watching Netflix or something, right? If I'm watching a show, I need to just be watching the show. And I was doing it to train myself to, again, stop looking everywhere else and just focus on what's right in front of me. So with that being said, as it relates to cleaning the house, same thing. I know a lot of people, they'll write to me and they'll say that, they start cleaning, but then they find themselves all over the house and haven't done anything 10 minutes later. They don't know how they got there. They teleported to, the patio somehow, and they found themselves reading a book. And they're just like, what? I was cleaning. I thought, right? What? No? Huh. So with that being said, when you need to clean the house, you need to put yourself in training mode, and you just need to focus on doing one task. So instead of saying I'm going to clean the house, as in I'm going to clean this entire room, well, that's a lot of tasks, right? So you have dusting, you have picking up stuff, you have vacuuming, you may have sweeping and mopping, like who knows? So instead of doing that, let's dial things down a bit and just focus on one task, which could be vacuuming the entire house. So you're just going to do the exact same task over and over again throughout the entire house, like no other additional tasks, nothing, okay? And that way you have just one thing that you can focus on, and be intentional. Set a timer that goes off every 5 minutes that says vacuum, right? Just in case for whatever reason you put the vacuum cleaner down. I don't know how you could just lay the shark down and not realize that you did that, but that could very well happen. So set a timer, goes off every 5 minutes, that says vacuum. And that way, while you're vacuuming the house, if you do find your mind just going here and there, you have that bumper there to sort of get you back on task and remind you of even what you're doing. And again, this just helps to create a certain type of muscle memory that will help you train your brain to stay focused on one task. Tip number 3, prioritize your priorities. So yes, you're terrible at planning, but that doesn't excuse the fact that you have things to do. You got bills to pay, right? You don't want them to foreclose on your house. That's not a good look. It's hard to come back from that. So with that being said, I'm going to bring it back down to cleaning your house or keeping up with things. But essentially, on Monday, you could do something like Monday is the day I paid my bills, right? That's the only task you're really worried about. Obviously, you're going to do other things, right? If you have kids, take them to school, you're going to cook, yada, yada, yada. But you need to have focus days for the big priorities. So if Monday was all about bills, Tuesday could be the day that you vacuum the entire house. Wednesday could be the day that you decide to write your book, whatever that might be, right? Hopefully you get that though. But focus blocks, you need to be very intentional about identifying priorities. So that will also be knowing what must be done, not what would you like to do, or a wish list of things. Just know what will keep your life going and moving in the right direction and keep things maintained and keep your environment healthy. And typically it's a lot less than we realize. You don't have to do a whole lot to it's kind of like the 80-20 rule. 20% of what you do accounts for the 80% that you see. So again, identify those key things, which I always say would be dishes, laundry, toilets, clutter, trash. Find days to do those. You got it, hopefully. And with that being said, if you are liking this video, like it. If you're loving the video, subscribe it, subscribe to it. And with that being said, here is a bonus tip for you. Stop feeling ashamed of yourself because of the fact that when you look around, you don't like what you see, right? Or things just don't look right. I can honestly tell you that being ashamed has never helped anybody get where they're trying to go. So you kind of need to just drop that and realize that you definitely have some superpowers within you that are just wrapped up. Your brain just, is like a race car, just going super, super fast. And all we're doing is working on improving your brake system so that you can slow down and turn into the pit area, and they can change the tires and give you gas and all these things, and then you can shoot from one task to the next, as opposed to being a race car with just absolutely no brakes whatsoever and just crashing to the walls, over and over and over again. So with that being said, I hope you found this video enlightening, and I hope you enjoy the next video that comes up. Bye.